All right, good morning. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Easy Like Sunday Morning podcast. I am your host, Charles, and happy Sunday, February 10th. Hope everybody is having a great weekend. I know we are. We've had a nice, relaxing weekend at home, and we are just getting ready for some conventions that we have coming up next week. So we're super excited about that. And we've just been kind of, hanging out and doing our own thing. So hope everything is going well with you guys too. Today's topic is probably a little touchy one, but I don't mean it to be touchy. It is more of a realization that I want to share with you guys, and basically just a way that share with you guys the importance of accepting responsibility for the things that happen to you in your life. If we can measure and we can control the things that happen, then we can set ourselves up for success in the future. And that's kind of what I want to share with you guys today. So today's topic is blaming others. Blaming others for anything that goes wrong in our lives, it's really easy, and it really comes natural to us. We always like to blame outside forces for our situations and occurrences that happen to us. I mean, it's true and granted that there may be events where the blame has been rightfully put on someone else, but the whole blame game is a trap. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. Placing blame on others will never free you from the cyclone of the crap and trap. Blaming never helps you, never. It will never do you any good in life. Even if you've been hurt by someone or a situation, you still need to eventually make the decision to let it go and move forward. Moving on prevents you from being stuck in the same situation or rut. It is only by accepting responsibility you are free to rise above the given situation, empowering yourself so that you can learn, adapt, and improve. And so today I want to share with you 3 ways you can start accepting responsibility in your life and stop blaming others. The first way we can accept responsibility and stop blaming others is to focus on the solution rather than the problems. If you have something holding you back and preventing you from achieving your goals or objectives, it's important that you identify the problem. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is where they focus their attention next. Those who usually fail at overcoming their problems focus solely on the problem. Instead, I want to encourage you guys to start focusing on the solution rather than the problem. If you're like most people, this is a pretty big one. And I can tell you right now, if you're like me, when things go wrong, the first thing that I do is get frustrated and irritated. In my head, I go through all the additional problems that this situation is going to cause for me. And, sometimes I find myself mulling the situation over for days. And the truth is, guys, that mindset just really isn't helpful at all. I mean, it's okay to get upset and it's okay to get frustrated, but the amount of time needs to be limited. To help you move past these feelings, it's great if you guys make a list of actions that you can take to get things back on track. Start implementing those actions immediately. It's one thing to make the list, but you really got to act on it. And it's okay to feel a little frustrated when things go wrong, as long as you don't take it out on other people. And I think that's kind of hard. It says, there's a saying that says, we take it out on the ones we love the most. And you just got to be mindful of that. You don't want to get yourself caught in a rut like that. I know that I've personally been there, and it's really no fun for you or for the close friends and family members and loved ones that you have around yourself. So always keep in mind that it's okay to get frustrated. It's okay. Life happens. We've all been there. We've all had circumstances where we have felt out of control, but it's really important to not take it out on other people. All right. Remember, feelings and emotions must be experienced, but you must learn to let them flow and let them go so that you can accept responsibility for solving the problems. The second way you can accept responsibility is obviously, and it's the title of this video, is avoid blaming others. You know, we've all been in a situation where something went wrong and we didn't achieve a desired outcome. And oftentimes when this happens, it's really easy to blame at least part, if not all, of the outcome on somebody else. Honestly, this is an easy way out. And when you blame other people, it's usually because usually when it's someone else's fault, it gives us an excuse to avoid taking a step back, facing our shortcomings, facing our failures, and taking action. But if you're serious about change and turning things around, you need to avoid this trap. Someone else may have made a mistake or bad judgment call and caused the bad situation that you're in. But you need to accept responsibility by taking control and identifying how you can work to achieve a better outcome. When you stand up and accept responsibility, you are not interested in the whole blame game. You're just pretty much focused on achieving the best possible outcome in the shortest amount of time. You know, I mean, nobody likes being in these situations. Nobody likes feeling hurt. So we really need to work on finding solutions so we can exit the problem as fast as possible. Be willing to explore every aspect of the situation, just not the parts that someone else messed up on. And that's important. Just don't blame other people for the situation and something that they did to make the situation bad, but really take a step back and see if there's anything else you could have done differently to avoid the situation as well. Truth is, blaming others is usually a tool that people use to avoid losing the approval of others. I mean, we understand that it's essential to portray strength, competence in order to win the respect of other people. I mean, we get that. However, before you're quick to deflect and avoid dealing with the situation, consider this. Rushing to blame someone else rather than accepting responsibility in the long run is going to do you more harm than good. It will actually damage your relationships and reputation, again, in the long run, because eventually you're going to come across as fake, untrustworthy, not loyal, and even a bully. And in the end, what's going to happen is nobody will respect you, or worse, no one's going to trust you and no one's going to work with you. So really own up. You know, everyone makes mistakes. People are very forgiving. They say it's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. You know what I mean? And I think that in this situation, that saying really does apply. People really respect you when you admit that there was something wrong, that there was an action that failed to be taken, when you assume responsibility of the problems and your circumstances and you admit that you were wrong and you apologize. People are very forgiving because we're all human. No one's perfect. And I think the majority of people understand that. And then this rolls into tip number 3 on how to accept responsibility and quit blaming other people is own your problems. And I kind of alluded to this a little earlier. It's one thing to identify the problem and things that you can actively change, but it's another thing to actually do something about them. You need to step up to the plate and take ownership of the situation. Once the problem or situation is identified, you need to make an actionable plan that you can use to actually do something about it. Like I said, come up with a list of tasks which need to be completed to move things forward. Don't just stop when the list is complete. You actually have to do the things on the list, and start with the easy ones first. The easy things that you can control, the easy things that you can change. Start with those first. Solve those issues, solve those problems, and in turn, that will give you the confidence and the willpower to deal with the bigger ones. Pick the first thing on your list, accept responsibility for it, and execute your strategy to resolve the problem. This moves you from a state where you wish things were different to generating real positive results. And I think there is the issue, is a lot of people that wish circumstances, wish their lives, wish things were different, but they don't take action. And no one is going to do it for you. We're all very busy running our own lives. No one's going to bring you along. You got to do it for yourself. It's great to talk about problems and how to solve them, but if you don't have a plan of action, you're just going to be stuck in the same old rut, and you'll end up wasting a lot of your time. And I want to share with you a quote by Robert Anthony, and he says, "When you blame others, you give up your power to change." So true. It's unfortunate that today's modern society is rife with blame and zero accountability. And this is in closing. Most of the time, when something goes wrong in our lives, we immediately start a crusade or a witch hunt or a crucible to find the ones responsible. While it's true that bad circumstances and events can be caused by the hand of someone that wants to deliberately cause harm, most of the time, these circumstances are results of unintended events, accidents, right? Things that you just didn't think of. Oh, man, I didn't see that. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's not ill intention. It just happens. We're human. We forget things. So that's basically what that says. Blaming others for bad experiences might help you feel better about yourself, but in the long run, as I've said, this attitude is limiting and it's going to keep you stuck in your situation. When you take responsibility, you look at things more objectively in any given situation, and you can identify clearly areas of improvement. Rather than focusing on the problem and who you can blame, focus on planning and executing effective strategies and solutions. And I promise you this, in doing so, you allow yourself to find solutions quicker and in a manner which allows you to learn, grow, and succeed. Well, guys, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for checking us out. If you enjoyed this, we have a blog post that kind of complements this and goes a little deeper into the topic. You can check that out in the links below, or you can check out our website, expertinfluenceracademy.com. We have tons of content just like this where we can help you be successful, start an online business, help market a business that you already have, grow a personal brand, and help you make more money and be more successful. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Charles, and we will see you next week.